Ladies and gentlemen, today we are discussing one of my most few watched and favorite Seinfeld episodes. An episode that's filled with shrinkage, pettiness, lobsters, and ugly babies. The episode I'm talking about is season 5, episode 21, The Hamptons. In this episode, the gang are visiting friends in the Hamptons who just had their baby. They're there for the weekend, and also George's new girlfriend's there, Jane's there, and they never slept together. Also, Jerry O's girlfriend Rachel is there as well, and trouble soon erupts, man. Like I just said, it's one of my favorite episodes of the whole series. I think this is hilarious. But before we go any further, roll that intro. So the episode begins with Elaine, Jerry, and Kramer in the car discussing why they're even going to these Hamptons to begin with Elaine funnily stating,
"Jerry, you gotta see the baby."
1 minute later, we see George in the car with his new girlfriend Jane, who they have not slept together yet, which is a very big deal in this episode. My baby and George are thinking his body states, and I quote, "It's amazing. If I reach out and touch her breast right now, she'll scream and throw me out the car. But at this time tomorrow, I can touch her all I want." And we in life, that's crazy. So many aspects of your life can change in a matter of hours and days. For example, someone may gamble their whole life savings away, but in this case, it's George touching his girlfriend's breast. So the gang is chilling on the outside porch. You could sort of say a porch type of thing, right? Where George ends up going to get some tomatoes, and Jane, his girlfriend, goes on a dip, to the pool. When she comes back, however, she is just completely topless, half naked, just walking through, man. And the gang notices that, and she just acts as if she is not half naked right in front of her boyfriend Bryce, baby. If she's feeling that confident, I ain't gonna stop her. But as Kramer puts it,
maybe she's trying to create a buzz.
so now it's finally time for both Elaine and Jerry to finally meet the baby. And they made some of the most disgusted faces, her most hilarious disgusted faces I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, man, they look disgusted. Now I am on the side that believes all babies aren't automatically cute. So I kind of agree with Jerry and Elaine here. If it's an ugly baby, it's an ugly baby. But they didn't discuss if they should or should not tell the parents that their baby is ugly. And I don't know. It's such an interesting dilemma to. I don't know. I feel like majority of people wouldn't say anything, including myself, if there is an ugly baby. But if I'm related to you, like sister, cousin, I feel like nothing's off limits at that point. I feel like that happens a lot more, and you know what I'm saying. But anyways, moving on from that. Also to add on, they also agreed to not tell George that they have seen Jane topless. And yeah, so Elaine ends up walking back into the room with the baby, and then she sees a doctor that she finds attractive. I mean, hey, I can't blame her. So long story short, the doctor ends up calling Elaine breathtaking, in his words. And normally that would be a good thing for Elaine, right? And it was for a little bit. But then, couple seconds later, he ends up calling the ugly baby breathtaking as well. And now Elaine is just questioning things in her mind. Like, am I ugly? It's like, what's going on now? Now focus on Kramer here. We see a little fun montage with the music playing, a little montage of him on the beach during Kramer usual shenanigans. Anyways, we see him pretend to be a lifeguard, chilling with some girls, some babes, whatever you want to call it. We see him with a metal detector poking around with people. We see him find a rope, which ends up pulling a big amount of lobster. And that's key. Very key to this episode here. Moving on from that, it's soon to be revealed via Kramer, not shockingly, that they all seen Jane topless, and George is upset about it. It's duh. George is upset. I mean, it makes sense. I feel like a normal person will also be upset. I would think, right? And yeah. But now, to make things even, he wants to see Jerry's girlfriend Rachel naked as well. So he quote unquote accidentally tries to walk in or change it, and it fails. Rachel then finishes getting dressed and tries to go off to see the baby, but accidentally walks into the wrong room and then see George change it and sees his small little meat. And she laughs, but George starts yelling. George is all paranoid now that Rachel and Jane are gonna talk. And hey, man, I'll be paranoid too after that. I'll be freaking out. But Jerry doubts that to be the case. Then they ask Elaine about shrinkage in the pool, and Elaine is completely clueless about it.
I don't know how you guys walk around with those things.
We did see everyone for the first time at dinner, eating all the lobster that Kramer has caught. Two things are revealed here. One, Rachel can eat lobster because she's kosher and does eat shellfish. Two, that Kramer should have taken the lobsters and they are commercial lobster traps. We also see Rachel and Jane laughing at the dinner table here, which gets George even more paranoid with him saying,
"That's what water does. It shrinks things."
We then see Elena and the doctor talking on the porch here, and she states that she was surprised to hear such a word like breathtaking used by the doctor. And the doctor states, and I quote, "Well, Elaine, sometimes you say a thing like that just to be nice." Wow. And Elaine pretty much got her answer on how he really feels about her via that lie he just stated, man. Then it's revealed that Rachel did in fact tell Jane about what happened. And Jane just ends up leaving in the middle of the night because of that, man. And damn, that's pretty brutal, man. That sucks for George, but hey, man, it is what it is at this point. So next morning, this is probably one of my favorite scenes ever. My pettiness I'm about to talk about, it's unmatched. It is completely unmatched. So the next morning, George is making breakfast for everyone. He makes some eggs, right? They love the egg so far, right? Rachel comes in, sits down, and then Rachel eats the eggs. George then reveals it's lobster in the egg. I don't think I ever seen that amount of pettiness in real life in a show in my entire life, man. This man had on the lobster, what's the apron, the lobster apron on. That man was determined to get his payback. Rachel runs off, Jerry follows. And then we see the cops come in. The parent points at Kramer. Kramer ends up now gotta clean trash off the road. It's just a lot going on in this scene here. The last scene of this episode is of George, Elaine, and Jerry in a car driving back. With George sees a tomato stand as he loves, but then he ends up getting hit by a tomato by Rachel. And that's how this episode ends, man. This episode is just hilarious to me. Obviously, the MVP of this episode is George Costanza, Mr. Jason himself. It's just the amount of pettiness it takes for someone to do that. It's just I kind of get it. I kind of get it. But yeah, man, it's just a fun episode. I would definitely recommend to a new or a person that's never seen Seinfeld before. I would definitely recommend this episode, obviously. But yeah, guys, second episode on the channel is done. Hopefully the editing does get better. I'm trying here. And yeah, with that being said, subscribe if you are new. Like the video as well. That would be greatly appreciated. That helps so much. But until next time, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.
Down on myself, hope you're doing well. I've been honestly